Hi there, my name's Andrew from Parker Adams Boat Sales, and I'm delighted to bring you another one of our walkthrough tours. Now today I'm once again on the Hamble River, and I'm here on this really beautiful Sealine F36. Now it's a 1999 boat powered by Volvo Penta 44 diesel engines, and the condition of this boat throughout is absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the interior is really immaculate. The upholstery has been upgraded. Everything about this boat feels fresh and modern. You've got a really large front cabin here. You've got twin cabin at the side, which of course can be converted into a double. And then actually you've got a real great hidden feature in here. Now when I was looking around this boat, I was blown away by how much space there is, and in fact you could comfortably think you're on a 40-foot flybridge. And one of the things I thought about was, well, actually I know why they've got space. They've got space because they don't have a second heads. Then I found a second heads. So I have to say this boat is packed full of features, so many storage areas, and of course lots of hidden bits as well. So delighted to bring you this boat. So what Nick's going to do, Nick's filming today. If you come on board the boat, Nick, and we'll start off on the flybridge. One of the reasons we're starting off here, it's quite a rainy day today, but we've just got a break between the showers. So we'll start off on the flybridge in the hope that we can make the most of the weather. So the first thing to note on the flybridge is bring your attention to the sun pad. There's a really lovely sun pad area here. Now on some flybridges you have a tendency to have a bit of wasted space where you have seating for friends, family, and then a bit of wasted space at the back, but Sealine don't do that. What Sealine have gotten it for is an approach of saying, look, most people are going to have no more than, say, 4 people up on a flybridge, 6 at max, but it's really great to be able to lounge out and have some relaxing space. So that's what this area is here. You've got comfortably enough space to have 2 people up here sunbathing, and then you've still got enough space for 6 people. So 1 person here, another one here, 2 people on the side, and then this lovely helm seat which can be used both pointing forwards, or you can literally just push this to one side and it's now facing towards the back. I really like that. It's got loads and loads of multi-uses, and I like that when you're in a mooring space. You don't know where the sun's coming, so where you want to put your face in the sun. Oh, sorry Nick, what's that?
You can see that middle section up there.
Okay, so middle section here, you lift that up and that creates the backrest, isn't it? So if I just pop that down there, there you go, and there's the backrest. I remembered that just then. Good spot. So there again, you've got the backrest there, so again it just creates that really nice feeling that you've got loads and loads of space here, good amount of areas to dine. You've got a little cocktail table here, sort of place, to be fair, you're unlikely to have your main meal up here, so just enough space there to put your drinks, which is all that you need. So if we put that back into position, let's run through the helm. Now I mentioned this boat's got the Volvo Penta 44, now that's important because they've got EDC controls. So the EDC controls, this must be one of the very first boats with the EDCs back in 1999. These engines are 260 horsepower each, and can push this boat along in excess of 30 knots. So it's a really good performer. And you've got original nav on this boat, so there's scope for a new owner to potentially upgrade that. However, it's all working perfectly. So as soon as I turned it on, it got a GPS fix almost straight away. You've got the Raytheon, the pre-runner to Ray Marine, and you've got a tri-data here with your depth, your speed, and your log, and you've also got an autopilot on the boat as well. I mentioned features and upgrades. The boat's also had a Fusion sound system fitted, which has gone in, I believe, just in the last few months. And you've got a control system for the Fusion just in there, which is a Bluetooth system to control the Fusion. You've got upgraded speakers here on the flybridge. It feels more modern than it is. And a very nice thing I like about the Sealines is they have a central helm position. Many boats of flybridges are off centre to one side, but I like the fact that you're sitting right in the middle of the boat. And the boat also has a bow thruster, so in terms of making this boat nice and easy to handle, it's got the bow thruster as well. So let's crack on with down below. So if I let you, Nick, if you go down below first of all. First thing to draw people's attention to as we're going down below is the condition of the teak. Now, when I first met the owner on board the boat just a couple of weeks ago, he was doing that onerous task of sanding the teak back. There's loads and loads of depth on this teak, and the teak was all being sanded back and it's since been sealed. I have to say the effect is fantastic. It looks really great condition. And I mentioned about the depth. You can see on the steps here, you've still got plenty of depth there in the teak. I like the fact that the teak steps up to the flybridge are all moulded in. I think it's a really nice, safe way of accessing the flybridge. You've got good grab handles either side, easily get up there, and again, once you're up the top, you've got grab handles all the way around the side. Now the covers have also been replaced in recent years, so you can see all the covers of this sort of, I don't know what I'd call that, slightly trying to think the word on that. It's got a slight texture to it, textured pattern. That's the word I'm looking for. So a slight textured pattern onto there, and I like the fact that all of the upholstery around here, it curves around. So in terms of seating areas, I always like to give an example of how many people you can sit down. I reckon you get 6 people around the back here, with another person or 2 over on that side. So it really is a very, very social boat. Lots and lots of entertaining space and accommodation for your family as well. In terms of storage space, Sealines are very, very, they're remarkable actually at the way that they utilise space. So I said earlier, so true, this boat doesn't have a feel of really a 40-foot flybridge, but it's only a 36. Example down here in the lazarette space. So we open this up and you've got yourself a really, really big storage area down here. This boat is also fitted with a generator, and you've got access to the engines. You can get through to the engine, the edge of the engine there, but you can also lift up the inside flooring and you've got access to the engines under there. It's quite tight engine access, but you can get to them. Right, the boat's fitted with warm air heating. The owners have used this boat throughout the winter and really just loved coming down during the weekends, so the warm air heating was really important to them, so they've had all that upgraded, and that works beautifully. And again, when I first met the owner a few weeks ago, that heating was pumping and it was a very, very cosy cabin inside. So let's step inside and let's see what we've got inside. As with all Sealines, the feeling in here is light and airy and spacious. The upholstery, this has all been done in recent years as well. It's hard to describe what the feel of it is. It's sort of a suede style upholstery, very warm to sit on and comfortable. And actually it's really nice having some lighter cushions just to break up the slightly darker tones in here. But it feels still very bright, even though it's a slightly darker upholstery. Carpet-wise, carpet's in good condition. You've got over carpets, so you've got a carpet underneath and another carpet on the top, and then you've got this table here which can open out and then lift up, and it spins around, and this can create an additional sleeping area up here as well. And then this is on a strut, so that actually comes up. Look at that. We like things that do stuff. So that now has created a really nice dining space there, and again, times of sitting people around, you'll happily get 6 people around that table, which is nice. So I shall close that back up again and spin it around. So I like the way you can take up a lot less space if you want to, so the table doesn't need to be huge. So walking through the rest of the boat, all the lighting throughout has all been upgraded. You've got fusion speakers down here as well. And then in terms of the helm position, if you do want to drive the boat from down below, you've got all of your controls down here. Another set of the EDC Volvo controls. There's another Raymarine, it's an E80 plotter there. Access to your autopilot, 2 tridators. And then on the Sealines, they always have the switch panels just above the helm of this age, and that's really nice and easy to notice what everything is, and it's easy to get to there as well. Quite a few plug sockets around. It sounds like a silly thing, but actually it's always useful. I think there's been a few extra ones added during the life of this boat, so it's nice to see those around the boat as well. And it was nice to put a lamp in the corners, charging points, etc. On this side here, you've got a Samsung Smart TV, so that's a great addition. So many people now are not using terrestrial TV when they're on board the boat, using a small Wi-Fi router, which can connect to a TV and then stream Netflix, BBC iPlayer, etc. So that's nice to see that there. You've got the Everspatcher heating control system is just there, and then that's the 4G box that they've got just under there, so the boat has a permanently wired 4G Wi-Fi connection. They may not be taking that with them, but they're brilliant little boxes, about £50, and you can then connect something like giffgaff, £10 a month, and your boat has Wi-Fi. So let's walk down into the galley space. So the galley on this boat is quite tight. There's not an enormous amount of space, but what I like is the way that Sealine have utilised as much space as they can. So little things like you still end up with a double sink. Now, something that used to drive my wife around the bend when we had a Phantom 40 was it only had 1 sink. So this has 2, and they've got it so they've offset it. So 1 sink is behind the other. You've got a gas hob. Sorry, I haven't got a gas hob. That's a gas oven. You've got a gas oven set into there, and then you've got a 3-burner gas hob which is hidden away under there. But in terms of maximising your work surface space, you can close that off, and it then goes completely flat. So you've got quite a lot of work surface to work with. You've got a microwave on here as well. Now, quite not often on a 36-foot flybridge boat you have a generator. But of course, because it's got the generator, it means you really can go off-grid on this boat for days and days at a time, generating your own power, and of course still being able to power your microwave, your fridges, etc. There's a fridge just down here. Now what I'll do is I'll probably grab the camera now from Nick. Thank you. Just so we can show a bit more detail down here. So, the first heads, which I thought was the only heads until a few minutes ago, spacious enough in there. You've got spacious enough in that you've got a electric flush toilet, and then you've got storage space just underneath there. There isn't any additional storage space, but you do have this shelf area here, so you can put your flannels and your toothbrushes and your bits and bobs on there. I'll close that off. Go to the master cabin first. I always like seeing this time of year. There's a dehumidifier still down there, and then into the master cabin you've got, it's a nice and spacious area here, so you've got a Jack and Jill arrangement so you can get access there into that heads, and I'd say it's a nice amount of space. It's cosy in here, you know. I'm standing here, you've got enough space, you could get changed in here, but you're more likely just to work your way out there into the galley area. Storage space all the way around the bed, and everything presented in lovely condition. All the woodwork is excellent in this boat. So if I go back into here, I'll just show you this cabin first. So this is a twin cabin at the back. There is an infill cushion, so that can be made up into a really large double, but you've got it as two singles at the moment. And then this is where I went, oh yeah, there's so much space here, it's amazing with that, they don't need the extra heads. And then it really surprised me, because then you have the extra heads. So here's the extra heads just in here. This also doubles up as a shower room. So this room has a shower in it and a curtain that wraps all the way round. But very cleverly, Sealine have also made this one Jack and Jill. So you can then go into there as well. So you've actually got, from access from the master cabin, you've got access to really two loos, or you want to look at it as a shower room and then a loo. So I think that's a really good use of space. I've not been on one of these before, and I'm very impressed by that. And if we just go back out here, you can see the galley. Different viewpoint from there. And then if I hand the camera back to Nick, what I'm going to do, I wasn't sure if I had to do the overcarpet, but I'm going to take up the overcarpet just to show you access to the engine. So what I do on here is just roll this overcarpet. It's a nice tailored overcarpet, so it's exactly the right size for everything. So we'll just pull this out, rolling it as we go. And then I shall just pop that out into the cockpit. It's a silly little thing that just shows how OCD I am on boats. Carpets quite often have a hard backing to them. Never put that on top of tables and things because it tends to scratch. So if you take over carpets up, always make sure you put that onto the teak at the back. So access to the engines, you've got access on both sides. I'll only show this side, you'll get the idea. And then these panels here come out, give you access to the engine space. So I said it's tight, and it is tight in here, but you've got the Volvo Penta CAD 44s, as I mentioned, EDC controls. It's on shafts on this boat, EDC controls, and each of these generating 260 horsepower. So this was almost the most powerful version of these engines. They did the CAD 300s after this, which was then the final iteration of the CAD series engines. But a nice clean engine bay, access pretty good. You can certainly get to what you need to, but it's fairly tight. Right, I should just pop that back down again. You can see where Sealine, in terms of maximising their space, they could have put that onto a hinge, but then there's a cupboard which comes right out into here to maximise the most of cupboard space. Right, so doing things a little bit backwards today. We're going to come back outside now, and I'm just going to show you the outside of the boat. Now this is the bit that I normally start off on the outside, but I'm going to pop my shoes back on again. Let's have a look at the back of the boat. Davits, love a davit. They've gone out of fashion. You don't often find davits on boats anymore. Davits are really, really useful for having tender storage, and this boat's got two small davits. I believe they're removable. They look like they'd pop out if you don't want to have them on there, but it does give the ability, because of this pulley system, to be able to have a tender that can just sit up here, easily deployed. So that's nice to see, those davits. Someone in the past has also fitted snap davits to this boat, so you've got a couple of holes in the gel coat there. I don't say holes, they're not holes, they're filled with screws, but you could add snap davits on again, and actually the standoff poles for the snap davits are still there, so they may even be on board somewhere. In terms of the actual design of the boat, as we walk down, it's typical Sealine, so lots of guardrails, space, light. So Sealines really do have a great reputation for the light and spaciousness, and you can see why. There's light all the way around here, you've got portholes in the side, more portholes in the side here, and then on the top, some of these boats do come with bow cushions, and I'm not actually sure if this includes that or not, so I'll put add that as an overlay, but of course they could be added if you wanted to. And then at the bow of the boat you've got electric windlass, which can be operated from both down here and also up at the flybridge position. And just looking up there I can see there's a remote control searchlight up there as well. Right, let's go back inside. Anything I haven't covered, Nick? Anything apart from the seat back? That was a good point out, that was.
The radar arch folds.
The radar arch does fold. That's a brilliant point. So in terms of the Sealines are really popular on the inland waterways as well, and having a folding radar arch is incredibly useful because of course then you can get under bridges. So that's a really good point on that. So this boat is really versatile because it can be used on the sea, or of course could be taken back to the inland waterways. I'm going to step on board because the wind's coming up and I've got a new microphone set up and I don't know how well it deals with wind, so I shall come back here. Right, come back through into here. So I think I've pretty much covered everything really. This boat has, for me, it's given lots of surprises because there's lots and lots of storage everywhere. There's lockers everywhere. Everywhere you look, they've turned into a storage cupboard, which is fantastic. The condition of everything is beautiful, and I think it's a real credit to the owners. They've loved this boat. The only reason for changing it is they've got the opportunity to go slightly larger, so they're going for a larger flybridge boat, and yeah, they've loved it, and it feels like that when you come on board. So any questions, please do put them through in the comments or get in touch with us at Parker Adams. All the details of the rest of the boat will be on our website, also on Yacht World, all the listings that we use. But as always, thanks everyone for watching. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks as always.